Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. So, Wednesdays were going to be my day to go live, and then my son's baseball schedule changed, so now it's Tuesday. Thank you for being flexible to those of you who can join. I'm going to do today's live about macros because there's a lot of people out there that don't know how to calculate macros. And it's not really about calculating it, it's about tracking it. So we're going to put the calculations aside because nobody should ever be figuring out their own macros. Do not try to do it. It is not for the faint of heart, and hi Christina, you're going to end up super frustrated because there are macro calculators out there, but they are super generalized, and they do not account for metabolic rate, activity level, and like all these other things that play into factors of what your macros should be set at. Everybody is at a different place, and you need to have them customized for you by a coach. So this live is really for people who are curious about switching over from a set meal plan to a macros based tracking app. And I'm going to try. I do not think I can share my screen after I went live. Let me see if I can. I cannot. So I'm just going to talk through it because I was really hoping to share my screen and show what I have lined out for like my tracking, so you can kind of see what it looks like, but I'm just going to like kind of give you a rough idea of what macros tracking is about. So there's a ton of apps out there now. I don't even know what they all are, to be honest with you. When a client comes to me tracking macros and they tell me this is the app that they use, or am I okay with that? The answer is yes. Whatever app you find that you like, that is user-friendly, that is easy to use it. There's no right or wrong app to use to track your macros. I personally like MyFitnessPal. I'm very familiar with MyFitnessPal. I have been using it since like 2013. Yeah. It was free. It still is free. But they have changed their features to where like the good shit is not. So I think I pay $19.99 a month. Don't quote me on that. It's either $19.99 or $29.99 a month. Yes, it is steep, but for the convenience that it offers me and the familiarity of the app itself, I love it. I'm sure that there are apps that are free or lower paying that probably have the same features, but I'm going to show you. It's going to be backwards, but MyFitnessPal. So I pay for the version because you can track your foods for free on their app. You can log everything just as normal. You can even see your totals for free. However, what the app does not allow you to do is things like scan a barcode so that it's legit the right food item that you're trying to put in your diary. And then another thing it will not let you do is customize your macros. So if I were to give you certain numbers for protein, fats, and carbs, if you pay for the premium version, you can go into your goals and then calorie, carbs, protein, fat goals. You can actually set those numbers to the numbers that I give you. So then when you're in your diary, logging your food for the day, I know it's backwards, or no, it's not. It's not backwards. So these numbers here at the top are where I am in regards to my totals. So I am 1 fat over, 2 carb over, and 1 protein over. And that helps so much when you're trying to figure out your food and log it and stick within your goals. So I'm going to preface this with, when I give you macros, you are never, ever, and I'm not either, and I'm in prep, expected to hit and make those all zeros every single day. I hit zeros probably once a month, maybe 2 times a month, and I'm in prep. That's not the goal. The goal is to be within 2 to 3 grams now this is my goal. So my goal is to be within 2 to 3 grams for protein and carbs, and then within 1 gram of fat. But that's because I have the goal of stage. Off season I'll probably be a little bit looser, but for like regular lifestyle clients, I tell them stay between 3 to 5 grams for your protein and carbs, and then within 2 to 3 for your fats. So you aren't expected to be perfect every day. You just need to be within a range, because if you notice, even though I'm not hitting my numbers spot on, this is the calorie difference. I'm 38 calories under. But that's tomorrow's, by the way. See, I get ahead of myself. But if I go back, so I'm going to go back to yesterday. So yesterday I was only over 1 gram of protein, so that's 3 calories under. I don't understand how that's even possible, but I'm not a calculator, so I'm just gonna leave that there. And then today I am 3 grams of protein over and 1 gram of fat over and 3 grams of protein under. So I have 7 net calories. That is a difference. And so you see, tomorrow, same thing. A little bit more under or over. But, so you see, I'm not trying to be perfect every day, but that little bit of caloric difference is not going to make or break my prep. Literally. I'm on a downward trend, and that's what I'm doing is working. So, so that's a really cool feature in MyFitnessPal. I don't know the other tracking apps have that. I don't know anything about it. But if you find one that does, then go with it. But if you see, I set all this up. I don't know if it's been so long. I've had this set up for a long time. So, I have my meal set up. Let me go to the top. So I have my meal set up for breakfast. And then I have a snack, and then I have my lunch, and then another snack, and then dinner and another snack. I eat 6 times a day. So you can customize that too, to say whatever you want it to say. So this is only in the premium version though. If you have the non-paid version, you have to bulk it together. So I think it only gives you maybe 5 meals a day. I'm not certain on that. Don't kill me. But for the premium version, you get these little bit of perks like this to where you can break it down in meals. And, it also has a feature where it'll tell you what each meal consists of. Why am I struggling with this? So, see, my snack 3 has 10.9 grams of carbs, 10.8 grams of fat, and 26.7 grams of protein. So, you can customize that. Also, you can tap on it. It'll give you percentages, which I do not care about percentages. I care about actually gram numbers as a coach, and that's what you should care about too. That's another thing. Side tangent. A lot of people are all about percentages of protein, fats, and carbs. I'm not about that. I'm about numbers, hard numbers. 120 grams, I'm just going to go, I'll tell you my macros. 140 grams of protein, 40 grams of fat, 126 grams of carbs. That's what I'm concerned about. I am not concerned about the percentage, and I don't give a flying F about calories. Please don't ever text me and ask me about a caloric number that you need to hit, because it's not about calories. It is about macros. Macros matter. You're not trying to hit a specific calorie goal, because it does matter what those calories are made up of. So when people, sorry, I'm getting hot. So when people are interested in switching over to macros, so this is what I tell them to start. Take your meal plan that you have and go into your fitness tracking app and input it all. And I definitely recommend breaking it down into meals like I have here. So I have all these different meals, because it's going to help you keep track of it better. So if you look here, I'm an expert at this, by the way, for anybody who needs help. I mean, I have been tracking macros since it was cool in 2013. Like, it was the taboo thing to do. I learned how to do it then. And I can literally set my food in about 5 minutes from scratch to hit these macros, because I know what foods contain and what it takes to get there. And tracking your food is literally the most mindful thing you could ever do when it comes to your fitness goals, because it not only teaches you what is in foods, it teaches you what they are what they are composed of. So, you learn like how many ounces of chicken has how many grams of protein in it, and it's mindfulness of knowing what you're eating, and it's really helpful for you to understand what macronutrients are. And people very, very overstate or understate what foods contain, what macros foods contain. Oh, it's healthy. It's only, and then you look at the label and it's like, fucking no, it isn't. That it just teaches you so much more awareness about what you're putting in your mouth versus just following a meal plan. And I am about meal plans all day. I prescribe them to a lot of my clients, but it's really just to teach you how to make a meal and what a meal needs to be, what a meal needs to be, like how it needs to be structured. But eventually, I feel like intuitively, as you go on in your journey after you reach your goal, trying to do macros is going to be a game changer, because it offers you flexibility, and you don't have to be like, oh, I don't have chicken and rice and veggies when I'm going out to eat. I can't have that. And the awesome part about tracking macros is you could take this and you can hit log food and say I'm out at Applebee's, and we're just going to say sirloin. So I typed in Applebee's sirloin, and Applebee's sirloins are in this as a menu item. So you can literally click on it, and it gives you the macros for that steak. Now, you would have to add your sides on top of that. You do your sweet potato and all that stuff. But you can literally track your food and go out to eat and still hit your goals. I mean, come on. It's genius. And so, if I had a life, because I don't, by choice, if I had a life and I was in off season, I would be implementing this. But I don't date. I don't, go. My kid only cares about his friends and his games. So, I eat my food at home. I don't go out to eat, and I'm okay with that. But if I were to do so, this is what I do. And I mean, I did date. I just don't anymore. But when I did date, I did this. But, it's just... It's easy. There's no reason for you to not be able to hit your goals when you track macros. And I understand when you're following a meal plan, it does get frustrating. It does get overwhelming. It is, what if you're not at home to cook your meal? And I can definitely help you with that. But macros also gives you another opportunity to have more flexibility when it comes to this kind of stuff. Also, like if I were to give you macros, numbers to hit, I would expect you to break it up during the day evenly. So that's what I try to do on my food, but I'm also elite level athlete, so I structure my meals around my workouts because that's what's important to me. So I do most of my carbs early in the morning. So my first 3 meals, because the one before my workout is meal 1, then I go work out, then I have a meal after that is heavier in carbs, and then the second meal after my workout is also heavy in carbs, and then after that I taper that off and put fats in its place. But if you look at my meals, let me start at the top. The caloric total and the other macros, protein, fats, and carbs, are pretty similar. See, 285 calories. This one's the biggest one because it's post-workout. And then scroll. And then see, that's about 200 calories. That's about 200 calories. And then the meal before bed, that's not it. My meal before bed is a little bit bigger because obviously I need it to last me through the 9 hours that I sleep. So I definitely recommend things like that, spreading it out throughout the day so that you're not, while it does give you a lot of flexibility macros, it's not have a super heavy meal in fats and carbs and no protein, because if you do that consistently, it's going to mess up with your digestion. It's going to slow your progress down because you're not fueling your body properly. Every once in a while it's fine, but on a consistent basis, you really want to try to kind of make your meals level throughout the day. It is nice, Christina. My boy's 14. He sleeps more than I do. Just wait. You're going to blink and your kids are going to be old, and you're going to be like, what happened? How did all this happen? I swear, it goes by so fast because I feel like Cole was literally just your kids' age. So, you'll get there, I promise. And it's probably right around the corner, honestly. I think I started sleeping more when Cole was probably 5. So, and I know Austin's older. But, so macros is when I have someone that wants to switch over to them from a set meal plan, this is what I would recommend to you to do. So you take the meal plan that you have, you input it in your MyFitnessPal or your whatever app you're using, and then you're going to go and find the totals. So there are my totals for protein, fats, and carbs. Those are really the only numbers you're looking at. Sugar, we do not care. I do not care about sugar unless you're having like excess of 100 grams of sugar a day, but it's not even possible if you're following good, solid macronutrient numbers. But if your carbs are up to like 500 a day, of course you're going to have sugars. So let people not tell you that sugar's bad, because it is not bad. It is bad if you are using table sugar and pouring in high fructose corn syrup shit. But for real, sugar is not the enemy. It's overconsumption of the sugar that makes people fat. I said it. It's true. Okay. So you're going to find those totals, and then you can start playing around with things. So what I would recommend is after you've logged your food, so say what I would recommend is start playing around with switching meals out. Do not go ham or cold turkey and be like, okay, I'm going to log 140 grams of protein, 126 grams of carbs, and 40 fats all by myself. I don't recommend that if you've never done it. It's hard. It's going to be overwhelming and you're going to go crazy. So I would recommend just trying a meal. So, say, and I do this, so I pretty much eat the same thing every day. Give or take. I have, like, I'll play around with my breakfast almost every day. Do I want eggs or do I want pancakes? Or do I want something quick like oatmeal and protein? But the rest of my meals, like, I have the same things every day because of a bunch of reasons, and I'm going to tell you them. One is because I know these foods fuel my body properly, and I know that I'm able to make it 3 hours between meals on these foods. Two, I love my food. I literally love every meal that I eat, and I enjoy it, and I have been enjoying it for 2 years plus. And number three, this makes your life so much simpler than trying to figure out your macros every single day. I don't know how people do it, to be honest with you. I basically take, so you saw I made tomorrow already. So I was like, today was a good day. I really, I played around with my breakfast a little bit, but the rest of my meals were the same. So I can go to the top, edit, select all, copy, and then I can copy it and paste it to another day. It's awesome. So much easier. So since I already did tomorrow, I'm going to do Thursday. So, boop. So then I'm going to go over, or not. All my meals are there Thursday. And I'm good. So if I decided that I wanted to switch, hold on, my computer's, okay. If I decided that I wanted to swap out my breakfast, if I wanted eggs instead of pancakes, then all I have to do is edit, and then I can just select my breakfast, and then I can delete it, and then I can add whatever I want and what I'm going to have in there. It's genius. I mean, it makes life so easy because then you're not trying to track every single day, every single meal. You have go-to meals, and then you can just move them around if you need to. And then another thing that this offers that I really enjoy is recipes. Let me get out of here. Done. Okay. So you can go in here under settings, my meals, recipes, and foods right here. Look at all these recipes I have created. These are all recipes that I have manually created, and I can actually put them in my diary for a meal. Okay, so let's do, I have a French toast bake that I make. So let me just start with something else first. So you can create that recipe, and you enter the ingredients manually, you name it, you say how many serving sizes it is. So like, it could just be one, or it could be four, like you're making enough for 4 days. So you put all that in, and then you hit next. It's not going to let me go, but let me just put something in here. So then I would add ingredients, and you can either scan the barcode to input it, or you can type up something here. So like, I'm going to do light bread just for the sake of it. Light bread search. Look at all these light bread options. And if it's got a check mark by it, that means it is a verifiable source from the USDA, I think. Don't quote me on that. But it means it's legit with the numbers that it has for the nutrition label, like it's been verified. So they're safe. So then you can find your light bread. They even have names, Dave's Killer Bread, all this bread. And you would just select it and hit the check mark, and then it's in there. And then you enter all the rest of your ingredients, and then when you're done entering your ingredients, you hit the next button, and then it will tell you per serving what the macros are. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this. And so, like, if you have a family and you want to make a meal for your family and you want to know what it is because you got goals, you put it in the recipe book and then you log it in your diary as a meal. It's awesome. So if you wanted to log it, then let's see, close. So if you wanted to log it, you just go into your meals and your recipes, and then you find that recipe, and then you click on it and say add to diary. And then it'll even ask you where you want to add, what meal you want to add it to, and you add it there. So that's a really cool feature. I've got a lot of clients that have families that want to eat with their families and kind of try to make something healthy for everybody, and this is a great way to do that. So those are the things that I would suggest starting off doing if you want to track macros. Is just start replacing one meal and playing around with it. So say one of your meals is chicken, rice, and veggies. I actually have one of those meals. So that's 2 of my meals throughout the day. So snack 2 is chicken, zucchini, and jasmine rice. So if I wanted to play around with this meal, I would put a different carb source in there. So if you look, you can actually click on it if you already logged it, and it will tell you what the macros are on it. So you're looking, like these other 2 numbers we don't care about as much because it's a carb source. It's not anything else. The negligible amount of protein that you're going to be trying to match is not really important, but the carbs are. So you got to find something that's 27 grams of carbs. But it's also low fat and low protein. So you wouldn't want to use a tortilla because a tortilla is going to have probably 1.5 grams of fat in it per tortilla. So you could if you replaced it with 2 tortillas, that might get you to 27 grams of carbs, but it's going to make your fats go up by 3 or 4 grams. So you would have to pull your fat from somewhere else to kind of get closer into that allowance of what you've got for the numbers that you're trying to hit. So that's where, you could steal from another meal. So you could take an egg out and take a whole egg out and put an egg white in. So it's, little things like that. Like you find out by playing around with it. And it's very simple, but people overcomplicate it by trying to do too much at once. And that is really just literally switching to macros cold turkey. It's a process. It takes time to learn the app first and foremost. And it also takes time to really learn what each food contains. Like I said, I've been doing this for years. I can literally tell you if you're low, if you set me your macros and you're like, man, I can't figure this out. I'm 5 grams under on protein, 2 under on fat, and 10 over on carbs. I could look at your macros that you have your diary set in, and I could tell you exactly where to pull those things from. And it'll be within seconds. But like I said, I've been doing this for 2013, so 12 years. So the more you do it, the better you get at it, and the more comfortable you become. But the thing that I like about meal plans is it provides a structure for you. So it makes switching over to macros easier because you kind of have an idea of what meals need to look like. And it just makes it a little bit easier for you. I do not track my sauces. I do not track nonstick spray. I don't track apple cider vinegar. I don't track sweetener. I don't track coffee creamer. Those things I do not track because I use the same exact amount every single day. And I have those things in my diet at the same meals every single day. I do allocate for pancake syrup. That's an additional 5 grams of carbs that you don't, for myself, I need to track. I definitely need to track that. And things what else? Sugar-free pudding mix that I put in my creamy. I track that. I track my unsweetened cashew milk. I need to track that. That's a very negligible amount. I don't think that a lifestyle client needs to do that, but I do. But you don't, the thing about tracking is that a lot of people obsess about it really bad. Like, they make it harder on themselves than it needs to be. They make it tedious because they are trying to either A, nail their protein, fats, and carbs on like point every day, or B, they are tracking on the fly, which means they're literally, as they're building their day with their meals, they're literally tracking it at that very second. And all that's going to do is drive you absolutely batshit crazy, because you need to plan out your meals just like you plan them out with a meal plan. There's no shortcuts to getting results. Either way, macros is not the answer, and a set meal plan is not the answer. The answer is whatever plan you could follow consistently. So that's what we want to do. And that's why I do a lot of meal plans for people, because people don't want to think about it. And that's fine. But like I said, it offers you a lot of flexibility if you have, like, say you have a job that you go out to eat all the time with clients and stuff like that. Macros is great for that, because then you're not going into your, freaking out when you're going out to your meetings or whatever, that you don't really know what's in this food, and it's definitely not what's on your meal plan. Most places you can order a la carte and be very specific about what you order. Like, if I go out to eat, I really am a dud. If I go out to eat, like, I will literally say, I need a plain steak with just seasoning on it, no oil or butter. I have an allergy, because when you tell them you have an allergy, they won't fuck it up. And then, a plain sweet potato, no butter, no cinnamon and sugar, and then same thing about my veggies, just steamed, no oil, no butter. You can do that. But in a regular lifestyle plan, you should not have to do that. You should be able to first of all, find something on the menu that is healthy, because it's just what it is now. Everywhere has healthier options. Will it be on point what is exactly on your meal plan? No, but that's okay. We aren't trying to be like very anal about this. That's not a lifestyle plan. That's not how real life is. You are allowed to go out and enjoy a meal. The whole thing about a lifestyle plan is practicing moderation and learning how to balance everything and not go hog wild every time you go out to eat. So, I really enjoyed this live. Any questions about macros, like, that I might not have covered, or that you guys might have a question about as far as like anything? I don't know. I don't know. I love it. I love it. And I love prescribing macros to clients and letting them roll with it. I've had prep clients that have done macros and struggled with it because they aren't smart about it. And even I have a couple lifestyle clients that are on a cutting phase, and we have had discussions because their nutrition has not been up to par. And the lower your food gets, the lower your calories get when you're cutting, the more you have to be mindful of the types of foods that you're pulling from. You don't want to pull from foods for ease. You don't want to drink your calories, aka protein shakes, protein bars. Those things are already pre-digested, so they're going to go through your body quicker. So it's best, I eat all of my food. Like, literally chew it. I don't ever have a protein shake. Ever, ever, ever. Even in the off season. Because I like to eat. I like to eat my food. And I can. Some people don't have that freedom in their schedules, and that's fine too. If you have to have that, then you have to have that. But if you're in a cutting phase and you're pulling from like quickly prepared, already pre-cooked meals, not actually like whole foods, you're going to set sell yourself short because you're going to go through those foods faster in your stomach. You're going to get hungry faster, and you're also going to lack energy from those lack of nutrient type foods. What else? I'm trying to think. I don't think there's anything else. I covered a lot, and I feel like it was a lot of information, but I also feel like I delivered it in a way that was pretty understandable, and like an easy way for you guys to kind of navigate it if you want to, like if it's something that you're thinking you might want to play around with. Like the reason why I love MyFitnessPal too is you can friend request me on there, so I can actually look at your diary. Thanks, Christina. I can actually look at your diary. So isn't my son cute? I've had clients like have issues with their macros, like they're having troubles, so then I can go into my friends here and I can look them up. There's Becky. But she don't log her food. She's just on MyFitnessPal. And I can actually look at her diary. I can see her totals. I can't see her totals for protein, fats, and carbs, but I can see her calorie total, and that'll help me. But it'll also help me just to know where she's pulling her foods from. And so that's a good tool too for me as a coach. So I can help. And I can help if you don't have MyFitnessPal and you want to try a different app. I know First Form, Christina, right? They have a macro tracking app. And it's free. I don't know how good it is, but okay. I don't know how good it is, but that's something. All you would need to do if you wanted me to help you with macros is screenshot all your meals and send it to me, and I'll be like, this needs to be moved here, this needs to be moved here. Or, best case scenario is when you're in a lifestyle plan, just go with it and let your body see how you do on the way that you've structured your meals. But I mean, Christina, even when remember when you and I were working together and you said you were hungry within an hour after you were eating, and there was no reason for you to be because your food was pretty high. So we restructured your meals and you were good, and so it's little things like that. It is nice to have a meal plan to just be told what to do, but that doesn't necessarily teach you any sustainability over a long period of time to even, once you get to your goal, moving forward after that. Unless you are just a creature of habit, which Becky, I would probably put you in this scenario, is you'll be able to follow a meal plan for the rest of your life because you just do. And you're like me. So that's just what it is, But for anybody who wants flexibility in their life, yeah, Christina, I think you could do macros. We'd have to really crash course it. We'd probably have to set up a call and go over it on a video call and just really dive in on it. But I think you would do fine on it. But yeah, I think over the long course of sustainability, for a real true lifestyle, once you hit your goal, macros is the way to go, I think. But I'm happy to give people meal plans and just send them off on their way for their lifestyle plans too. The good thing about all of it is that I teach you along the way, so it's not like I just send you, into the wild with all of this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I really did. And I'm going to be open for questions afterwards. Like I always am. If you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'm happy to help anytime. And then if there's anything that you guys are thinking or would like me to cover on a live, send me a message. I'd love to hear what you'd like me to discuss, because I'm not running out of stuff to talk about, but I don't know. I feel like there's probably a lot of things that I haven't covered that a lot of people want to know about. So thanks, Christina. Thanks, Becky. It was good to see you guys. I hope you have a good rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon.